Now, in terms of safety, I'm only advising this for someone who wants to jump higher, who's not in season. You would do this in the off season because your sport alone is gonna be enough shock, and just doing your tendon strengthening exercises 3 times a week is gonna make you jump higher in season. So this would be off season, once a week. I like 5 sets of 10. So in terms of learning it, the first thing is we are not doing it exactly the way the Maasai do it. They do it without even swinging their arms. That's awesome, more power to them. For most of our sports, we use arm swing, and that's actually just gonna get us a little bit more height and more shock. So the first thing you have to coordinate is that your arms have to be back in time for each jump. So you start your first jump, you get them back, and then when you hit the ground, they have to be right here, ready to go again. They can't be here when you hit the ground, otherwise it's gonna take too long. And the whole intention is spring, 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 springs. When we just jump like onto a box, the number 1 most used jump drill, we're not training our springs. The real point where the springs would get worked would be jumping off the box. What can we do with it there? That's gonna cause more adaptation. Box jump will be fun. This we're not doing for fun. This we're doing to adapt. So that's what you're thinking about, and to get those springs, the arms have to be ready to go again. Now, you don't even have to think about knees over toes. You can't even do this drill without your knee going over your toes. So that's one of the awesome things. Just by doing this drill, we're stimulating, because once that pressure goes there, we're stimulating that soleus and Achilles tendon, and with the knee over toe, we're stimulating those VMOs and patellar tendons. And by doing this once a week, with 3 times a week of tendon strengthening, this is really a just golden, simple recipe. Now, some other details, my shoes are off. I highly recommend doing this barefoot, because with those springs, you also have tendons in your feet. So when you really start waking up your feet, that's just gonna lead to more height, which is gonna lead to more adaptation from the drill. And then the last thing that every single one of the world's greatest jumpers ever, they can all do, is lift the heel. Now, why lift the heel if that isn't pressing into the floor? Well, our arms aren't pressing into the floor either, but we all use arm swing to jump our highest. So it just goes into the category of things that lift our bodies, and struggling stiff low jumpers often have a problem and they get no heel lift at all. And then the best of the best, they do it naturally. Meaning there's no evidence of any super high dunker ever who doesn't, on many of his jumps, lift the heel. But then I've coached tons of guys and they start and they don't have a single, every dunk clip, the legs are just straight. They're not getting the heel lift. Last but not least, when learning this drill, think to start low on your first jump and then think to jump higher as the set goes. So I'm gonna try to think about these points, okay? So this is like backwards. When we usually think of a jump, we think of something hard and then, oh, we jump onto the box and that's it. No. This is the opposite. This is training for real elasticity. This is the stuff that gave Michael Jordan his pull-up jump shot. This is the stuff that there are no studies for. Studies haven't been done on this kind of stuff. Michael Jordan's pull-up jump shot is different than just one standstill jump. That's him taking his full force, boom, and being able to go up and up vertical. So it's also quite a drill to be able to go up vertical. This is the kind of stuff that doesn't just get you drafted, that then makes you millions as your career goes. This is the kind of stuff that makes you able to handle life easier. A box jump is you expressing your force against life, not necessarily handling what you could do off that. That's all I care about for my purposes of bulletproofing and being a real athlete.